What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 37 of Lyon Live here in Football Manager 2019. Hopefully you guys are doing awesome. We're back once more, of course. And I thought today we'd start on Moise Kean's profile because I don't want to give away any spoilers, but if you've missed the last few episodes, do go check them out. I know I say that a lot. There's a lot of context missing from today's episode unless you watched the previous two episodes, however, but yeah, Moise Kean here just looks top drawer. Sorry, not full. His full title is Record Signing Moise Kean. I should show the man some respect. I mean, to be fair, 7.46 average rating in the league is pretty blooming good. Yes, not loads of goals yet in the league, not loads of assists, but he's been doing the business for us when we've called upon him. But anyway, yes, you know what today is. If you've watched the previous episodes, it's a big day for us. It's a huge day for us. It's the Champions League semi-finals, and we have Porto. We're going to be doing both games against them today, home and away. We're actually starting off with the away leg. I'm a little bit conflicted. Part of me thinks, should I play more defensive to begin with, or should I, try and play the direct attacking style of play from the start? That's the dilemma for today, at least to start today's episode. In terms of their team, it looks like they might play a 4-4-2 with inverted wingers. Interesting, they've got Lozano in their team. How much did they pick him up for? £22 million. If they're going to play inverted wingers, they're going to be getting in behind us quite a lot. Potentially overloading the wings. Their centre midfielders, if they do play this, a ball in a midfielder and a deep line playmaker, they're not going to have a load of movement in the middle. But I'm just wondering if playing our three centre mids might just help the fullbacks out a little when it comes to dealing with the overlap, basically, because their inside wingers or inverted wingers are going to cut inside. The wing backs are going to be looking for the overlaps. So maybe crowding out the centre of the pitch, limiting the space that the inverted wingers have to operate in might be the best approach here. Might just help us win the midfield battle. That's what I'm thinking here. I feel like I'm overthinking things, perhaps. Perhaps not overthinking them, but certainly thinking about them more than I have done previously. Eder Militao, still transfer listed. Asking price is only £21 million now. That's a very good price, isn't it? The only issue is I can't actually afford to sign him yet. Can we maybe do something involving some clauses? Can we? That would be useful for me. If we could do something with clauses. Potential value of the transfer, 12 million. This needs to be near at 15. I don't think they're going to like the idea of clauses. I get the impression. Okay, I take it all back. I mean, is that a good deal? 22.5 million for Eder Militao. It's not a small amount. I mean, this is mind games, isn't it, before we play them? I just think in terms of a world-class centre mid, I think I'd play him as a centre mid over a centre back. That might seem mad. How does he compare if we just do a direct comparison between him and Ndombele? I mean, you can see here, Eder Militao, debatably the better player. Would be good competition at the very least in the centre mid position, but the fact he can also play centre back and right back is huge. For £22 million, that seems like very, very good value for money. He does want a few clauses, which I'm not the biggest fans of. I'd like to get his wages down to 50k if I can, or at least around there. He's also really desperate to have a sell-on fee. I'm just wondering if we're going to run into some issues here with all the clauses. Well, not with the clauses, but with that signing on fee pushing us over our budgets that we have. Let's lower the signing on fee and up the wages a little. Man, he's desperate to get 60 grand. I think he's probably worth 60 or in that region. I don't really want to offer him a massive signing on fee. There we go. Okay, 60 grand, 1.6 million. I mean, is this mind games to agree to sign Eder Militao before the window opens and before we play them? It probably is a little bit of psychological warfare. I know we strictly don't need him in some ways. I definitely think we can find a spot for him in our team. But, I mean, he's just so well-rounded. For £22 million, he's 22 years old. It's just a bit of a no-brainer. I feel like just the quality of player for 22 million, it's very rare that you get a player. And the fact that we're paying some of it, over the coming years is great. Jabel's continuing to develop superbly. Loving him. Looks like actually having him in that mentoring group is helping with his determination as well. So it's good to see that working out in our favour. Lenglet apparently is pushing for a France national team spot. I mean, of course he is. He definitely deserves one. Anyway, we've got Ligue action going on here. PSG could still slip up and lose second place. No, well, I was going to say they could. They're not going to, I don't think, at this point, because I think Monaco have just slipped up as well. Or at least Marseille have in their bid. Yeah, Marseille lost to Lille, who are now up to 5th and only 1 point behind Monaco and Marseille with a game in hand. I mean, fair play to them. The battle, by the way, for European football is very much alive. And in the relegation zone, it's pretty competitive. Dijon and Nîmes look like they're two teams battling it out. Although you'd have to say Reims and Nantes. I mean, any of those teams could save themselves still. I say that. Rennes have avoided relegation. I was about to say that and then Rennes have got relegated, but no, I've misread that. They've avoided relegation. Congratulations, Rennes. I really like Militao as the signing. I know he's not going to be made the most popular one with you guys in the comment section. I think he looks pretty blooming good. And I think for the price we're paying, it's value in the market. Jabels is apparently a leading player for Ligue sides. Gravenberch with a goal and an assist. This guy looks top-notch. Probably going to be first-team ready next season. Here's some of the regens we were looking at. I mean, we don't need another goalkeeper, but he is pretty good. Zdanov. Good, but not world-class. Really, I'm looking for players with 85 plus here. We've had a few 82s and 83s get thrown up. Bio Aina. He's okay. He looks a little bit limited. He might have really good potential, but he doesn't do anything for me right now. Not feeling it. Who else we got here? A few more players. Probably not within our pricing kind of budget. Moro Secco. He's not that good, is he? He's literally not that good. Why am I even looking at him? Got another player for Monaco, Amastoy. See, he's probably a bit better, but again, he's inconsistent. Not got the craziest asking price. You know what? That's... Do I want to get another scout report on him? I think I do. We'll keep an eye on him. I like his 20 determination. Anyway, a few more players here. I'm noticing that some of these players I don't think we'd ever be able to sign. This guy looks very good. Alessandro Palmer. Very hotly tipped in terms of potential. Current ability maybe just lacking a little bit. He's inconsistent. Why are there no consistent regens in this save? Luca Galliard. I mean, we're not going to be able to attract him away from PSG, and he doesn't look as good as I can imagine his price would dictate he should be. I am feeling like Eder here would be just a great signing if we could get him in. For 21 million, would it deal a psychological blow to Porto? I wonder if under the hood in Football Manager, the fact we're now signing him the week before does anything. Anyway, 8 million this year, and then in the next 3 years we're going to have 5 million lost off our transfer budget. I am thinking that this summer we are going to move some players on, so whilst that might seem like a fairly large chunk of money, it's not in the grand scheme of things. I mean, you've got to consider, Dembele's joining us for 40 million. Sorry, Dembele's not joining us for 40 million. We've sold him on for 60 million. We've got 40 million coming in. So actually £22.5 million. Basically, for the price of Dembele, we have signed Eder Militao and Jabels. In fact, for less than that, because the combined cost of those two players is 47.5 million, roughly. A very, very rough napkin math there. But basically, we've got in Jabels and we've got in Eder for the price of Dembele and then some. Actually, now I think about it, Jabels we actually picked up for nearer 20 million. So they're pretty much coming in for the clause from the future. St. Maximin wants to talk about getting a new contract. Mate, you've barely been playing in the first team. Fakir, can you sort it out? Discuss contract. Can't afford it right now. I actually can't, because I noticed with the Eder Militao deal done, I think we're over the wage budget, technically. Are we still over it with those readjustments? No, we're £118 not over budget. And we can still afford Bolgraf. Do I want to sign him? I think I do. His potential isn't as crazy as I was perhaps hoping, but he's consistent. That rating's not that great. Do I want to ignore my scouts? I'm just thinking for the price we're paying, which is 750 grand, he looks worth it. I don't think he's ever going to be worth less. We'll delay it for a week, but yeah, we can afford him with what's left of our budget. Eden Middeltal, I mean, I've ummed and ahed about him all year. I do think we will be making some sales in the summer. I think we will be losing potentially first-team players. You know, it's going to be very difficult to keep hold of the likes of Fekir. But equally, with us having players like Awar and Olmo, you know, there's a chance that one of those players we need to move on. Just the nature of the beast. And it's the same with Bertrand Traoré. Going into this Porto game, I don't think we're going to play Bertrand Traoré. I think we're actually going to start with Trincão, who's just been in better form and improving a ton. So with Bertrand Traoré being valued at 55 million and with PSG being interested, it's kind of a bit like, you know, maybe we should try and get, you know, the money while we can. I've noticed Bertrand Traoré's value has shot up to 55 million, so I'm going to be looking for 70 million in the summer for him. Anyway, team for today's game. Wallace is out suspended. Of course, he got a straight red in the second leg against Spurs. And we're going to bring in Romero at right back just because he's in a lot better form than Tete. And I really do rate Romero quite a lot. The midfield, though, is fairly standard with the exception of Trincão, who just comes into the team based off the fact he's in better form. Got 3 assists in the game you can see there against Saint Etienne. Prior to that, he's got 5 assists in his last 3 games, bless him. Prior to that, he was a little bit kind of cooler. But I don't know. I feel like he's a bit of a big game player, and I'm hoping he's going to show up large for us today. The rest of the team, though, kind of picks itself. Depay, I feel like underappreciated this season, just what he's contributed. He's been good for us. But, well, enough stalling and putting off the inevitable. Let's get into this game, shall we? It's the first leg. Away goals are going to be crucial. We want to get them. They are going to play the 4-4-2. We kind of know what to expect here. We're expecting them to use inverted wingers. I'm hoping that our trio of centre midfielders is going to be able to contain them. That's the thinking. Going into this game, I'm just going to tell the players I've got complete faith in them. We've proven it in the league that we are an elite European team mopping the floor with PSG. Now, in our beautiful orange kits, we're going to prove on the shores of Portugal that we are worthy. Lozano, I mean, we're going to VAR for a potential offside, but I don't think it is. VAR, come to the rescue again for us, please. This isn't the start I wanted to the game, even if this is disallowed, which I don't think it's going to be. This is not what we wanted. I think this is going to be given. Indeed it is. It was close, but not close enough. I mean, it's not ideal, is it, to concede the first set piece against you? I don't feel like that really comes down to the tactics at the end of the day. So we're not going to react and start panicking just yet. We have our own set piece here. We've made them count lately. Ball back post, cleared away, nodded down. Trincão, Lenglet hits it, rebound, someone shoot and score. It was a half chance, it cannoned around. They can now hit us on the counter if we're not careful. Hervin Lozano dinks it back post. Oh my gosh, they're literally going to hit us on the counter from a half chance to a clear-cut chance. I mean, they've hit us on the counter and scored a set piece. Is it too soon to change things? Debatably, but we need goals now. We need goals and we need them fast. So with that in mind, we're going to the direct 4-2-3-1 to see what it can do for us. They've had 2 shots. They've taken them both. 2 good opportunities, to be fair. But, well, a tactical change. We'll keep an eye on the stats here to see how they might change. The Zano free kick, I mean, if that goes in, I start crying because I just don't feel like it's a great deal I could do based off what's happened so far in this game early on. From open play, it's been very even. Porto have just crafted out 2 great opportunities. One from one of their own set pieces, one from one of our own set pieces. Trying to steady the ship going into half time. They've got another set piece here. We had it clear for Fekir. Could we hit them on the counter ourselves now? It's going to be up to Jebels to hold up the play here. Switches the play to Ndombele. Bringing it forward. Options in the middle. He hits it. Tanguy Ndombele. What a finish that is. Jebels with the assist. That lone kind of complete forward role for him. one he really is shining in, and he has improved a lot over the last few months of being in the club playing regular first-team football. Not just in performances, but in his actual attributes. And, well, what a ball that was to Ndombele. Composed finish. I'll be honest, I was preparing myself for it to be smashed into the defender and then just get blocked and nothing to happen. I mean, the good news is we've got an away goal. The bad news is we've conceded 2 in the first 15 minutes and there is still 45 minutes left of this game. I noticed Atletico, I think, have had a man sent off. So City and Atletico is 1-1 at half-time. But Atleti, as the home team, need to probably hold on, really, and just try not to concede a second away goal. Anyway, we might be on the attack here. Fekir switches the play to Memphis. Can we get a finish? Memphis, what a run! I mean, again, like the Ndombele one, wasn't expecting actually to find the back of the net. I was expecting the wasteful kind of smash straight at the keeper, but no. We've got the goal. It's happening, folks. The comeback. Fekir switches the play. Memphis gets the ball down, gets it out of his feet, and just tucks it in at the near post. 2 away goals is huge for us, but while we have this momentum, we now need to keep going forward. We need to keep, I guess, trying hard in this game. Toussaint is struggling on a 6.5. I'm going to demand more from the players here. Trincão's not had the best of games, I'm going to be honest. Maybe a mistake to play him, but we're going to bring in Bertrand Traoré. Gibel's has played okay, but without playing great. I tell you what, Toussaint isn't having the best game of his life, so we'll take him off and we'll bring in Kenny Tete at right back and move Lucas Romero to ball-winning midfielder, I think. Just to get some fresh legs in the midfield. Good reaction to our team talk. 20 minutes left. Gibel's hasn't had the best game. I think it's time for record transfer Moise Kean to show us what he's made of. He's going to get 15 minutes here. Hopefully he can turn up huge for us. Fekir whips it in. It's headed clear, but only as far as Lucas Romero. Ndombele switches it onto the left. Mendy, lots of space to get the ball in here. Goes to Romero. Have a go. Have a go, Lucas Romero. Why did we play him at right back? What a finish. It's 3-2 here. Oh my gosh, this comeback. I mean, is it an inside job? Is it Eder Militao pulling the strings for his his future club? Against his former club that he's still at technically. Either way, Lucas Romero, 3rd goal of the season for him. What a time to get it. Great little finish. Partly wants to go more defensive. Partly thinks stay on the front foot here. Playing this direct system has just worked for us. It's another set piece. We've struggled from these. Eder Militao, I mean, he's headed it over. Let's hope he can hit the target when he's playing for us, but I do not mind him missing that there. 4 minutes left. Even if they were to equalise, I would very much take 3-3. Of course, I want to try and score a 4th here. They might have a chance here. They might have a chance they've scored. They've got the 3rd goal. I felt it. I felt it in the wind. Oh. I said I'd be happy. Maybe I was being hyperbolic. Maybe I was getting carried away. It feels like a bit of a punch in the gut. Disappointing defensively. Just kind of caught napping a little bit here. Thought there might be a hint of offside, but the flag was not raised. 3-3 here on the night. Porto, I mean, they're ensuring that this remains close. Very much all to play for in the second leg, but given how this has played out, I feel like we have to be happy to have 3 away goals and be going away with a draw, having conceded 2 in the 15th. By the 15th minute. That was a really shocking start to the game. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to tell the players you were unlucky. I mean, it could have been better. Probably should have been better. But we'll take it. Diego Costa's sent off at Atleti. Means that going into that second leg, they're going to be without him. They did actually manage to hold on pretty well. They only finished 2-1 to City in the other semi-final. A few of our players you can see there playing away. Terrier got a goal in a 34-minute cameo. I mean, Terrier at one point was valued at 25 million. He's now halved in value, and he's really not done all that great, has he, at Lille on loan. A team that you'd expect him to do quite well at as well. Rennes v Saint Etienne apparently was one of the greatest games in footballing history. Rennes were 5-4 down going into the 90th minute, and they got 2 goals in extra time to win 6-5. I mean, imagine the scenes. Right, anyway, we are going to rotate the team here because we've got a big game coming up in a week's time, and it makes sense to just rotate things around. We should probably make sure that we don't get the classic situation, though, of having 3 goalkeepers on the bench whenever we do this. In terms of how I want to start the team, we're going to play Moise Kean up top. Also, we're going to, of course, be not playing the Gungan press system. We're going to go back to the direct attacking system. Just want to make sure, we've got a nice rotated team here. We could play Wallace, but I'm actually going to play Marcelo because Wallace is going to not be suspended for the second leg and we're going to need him. A little bit unfortunate that Moreno suspended, so Lala's going to have to play left back. That means I can't give Tete a rest because the only other backup right back is Romero, who I would rather give a rest to. We will just make sure to have a few players here on the bench. I might give Martinez a start ahead of Keane as well, just because he hasn't played that much. And you know what? We'll have Ndombele on the bench as well. I feel bad for Rashford, but I know some people have maybe mentioned, Jack, why don't you have Rashford in the team? Like, why does he not play for you? And, well, the simple answer is he's a player in on loan. Given the amount of young, homegrown talent that we own that we have, it doesn't feel right to rob their first team opportunities and give it to a player who's had a lot of injuries during his time here, and I'm just not overly convinced he's going to... Well, we're never going to sign him permanently, I don't think. Jabel's here has improved a ton. We can only compare him to his last month still, but you can see his decisions have shot up by 0.6 there, and actually in the last month a lot has shot up. He's looking like he's going to be top draw. At £20 million, along with Militao, in return for Dembele, who we sold for 60 million. I mean, it feels like just really, really smart business, doesn't it? Mario Ferreira, we've not heard much about you playing for Sochaux lately. How's it been going? He has slowed down a little bit. I feel like that was always to be expected. Sochaux 4th in the league. Harvard are also doing pretty well. I mean, you can see here, Ferreira, top of the assists and 2nd in the goal-scoring charts. It'd be fair to say he's having a pretty good year. DJ's got 8 goals in the league, so that's good news for him. Of course, made his debut for the Serbia national team not that long ago as well. Anyway, shortlist for the goalkeeper of the year. Can I vote for Lopez? I can't. Well, then I refuse to vote. I think if I do that, then that means that my assistant might vote instead. But I abstain. I've learnt from British politicians that we just don't have to vote for anything. Right, anyway, let's move on. Let's move off politics, Jack. Let's not fall down that rabbit hole because we're never going to have everyone agree on it. But I think what we can all agree on is abstaining is a load of... I'm not going to go down. I'm not going to go down this route. Right, focusing on the game. We've got Gungan today. Rotated team. No nonsense. You guys know the deal by now. Probably could have dropped Lopez for Rajkovic, but it doesn't matter that much. The league title is ours. This is really about, some of the fringe players staking a claim to kind of be kept at the club next year, I feel like. There are players like Saint Maximin with 2 years left on his current deal who I do just wonder if it's worth just selling on. Struggled to find a spot for him in the team recently. He's a very, very good young French winger, but we have lots of very good players. We're looking for exceptional players, world beaters. Oh my gosh. I mean, I appreciate the ambition from that. Not even going to knock it. But yeah, players here very much playing for a chance to, to be kept at the club. Additionally, playing them in this kind of game probably helps up their market value a little bit because, well, they're playing regular first-team football. And funnily enough, that contributes to players' values, doesn't it? Anyway, Aouar, let's get another set piece. This time to the back post. Marcelo, free header cleared off the line. Only as far as Aouar. Can we get it back in the mixer? Glenn Kamara, run Glenn, run! To Saint Maximin. He's heard that we're trying to sell him on. He's thinking, I need to make my moves here. I need to shine. He's there at the back post. He's not even challenging for the header. Glenn Kamara, the long shot specialist. He scored some screamers this year. I thought then he did a really smart foul, but no. They still have the ball. Trying to hit us on the counter, Gungan. Lovely tackle, might I just add there. They switched the play to Robotcho. Aouar's pulled his groin. Apparently he can nurse it through the game. I might bring on Ndombele at half-time, but I was kind of hoping to give our centre mids a rest. I'm just thinking about what we could do there. We could always bring Keane in, I think. Actually, how's that going to work, Jack? How would bringing in Keane solve anything? See, what I was thinking was he could, like, play Olmo deeper, but then I don't think any of our attacking options here can actually play playmaker. Saint Maximin can kind of play it. Excellent. I mean, how... Not a great playmaker, I'll be honest. But it'll do. I don't want to risk Aouar getting a serious injury. You know, better to be safe than sorry. We've got nothing to lose or gain by, you know, playing him through this game, other than potentially risking injuring one of our kind of long-term prospects for the future. Also gives Moise Keane a chance to come on and shine. Don't think we've ever played Saint Maximin down the middle. So he's in a little bit of uncharted territory. We'll keep an eye on him. I mean, there he is. Speaking of the devil, Lala whips in Bertrand Traoré. Lovely header. I hope the PSG scouts are watching this performance by Bertrand Traoré. And they've seen him score and they're sat there going, 70 million might be a good deal. Nice build-up play here, though. Lala, out on the left side, whips it in. Traoré, free header at the back post, nods it in. It's taken an hour for us to break the deadlock. It's been a game of few chances, to say the very least, but I feel like we probably deserve it on the balance of play. I do feel like we've been the better team for fairly large spells this match. Anyway, ball played forward here. Lopez collects, no nonsense whatsoever from him. Clears it up the pitch now. Martinez to Saint Maximin. Bertrand Traoré, what can you do? He plays it wide to Tete. Tries to get the ball in. It's blocked away there. Now back with Marcelo. Glenn Kamara. Saint Maximin. Drifting inside. Dinks it over to Lala. On that weaker foot. Passes it back. I mean, I take it all back. Saint Maximin is the greatest advanced playmaker in the history of mankind. Take a bow. We're in Lala land here. That's what we're in. I think that's Lala's second assist of the game. Saint Maximin with the ball out wide, continues his ball into the box, but Lala, what a ball that is by Lala at left back. He is the best third choice fullback that I've ever had. I mean, okay, might be getting a bit carried away, but he is very good. He doesn't complain about the fact he's a backup player. He very much accepts it. When we do call upon him, it feels like he does quite a lot. Anyway, we've got the ball here. Marcelo to Dani Olmo. What can you do? To Traoré. So we've got Olmo, Aouar and Shadas. Like, 3 does not go into one advanced playmaker position. I am going to maybe have to either loan out players again next year or look to sell some players on. But why am I worrying about this now? I should be worrying about the Porto game. That's the bigger fixture. Or maybe worrying about how you guys feel about the fact that I've signed Eder Militao. I think for 21 million, it's a lot easier to stomach than for the 32 million that at one point it looked like we were going to have to bid for him. That's my thinking. I want you to write down in the comments, what do you think of that transfer? Anyway, we're 2 goals up against Guingamp here. Let's make a few changes. Gabel's come on for Martinez. Just a chance for Gabel's maybe to get a goal or 2. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Elsewhere, Tete's not played great at right back. Let's bring in Denea. Might need to save Tete's legs just a little bit. With one eye on that Porto game where we might play him at right back and Lucas Romero higher up the pitch. Although that would mean dropping Toussaint, who I feel like is just... His average ratings don't often show you just what he does for us. I feel like ball-winning midfielders in general in Football Manager this year are kind of robbed when it comes to their average ratings. In fact, I think that kind of just goes for centre mids in general. Particularly in a system like ours. I mean, I say this, then Glenn Kamara, the centre mid, scores and Dani Olmo, our other centre mid, gets the assist. Which means their average ratings are suddenly going to shoot up to way above 7s. But my point does still stand. Nice ball into the box, by the way, here for Olmo. And, well, Glenn Kamara, I mean, reminder, I think he's on £6,000 a week. Absolute bargain. Free transfer. He's done the business for us when we've called upon him. Anyway, Robotcho crosses it in here. He's ping-ponging around in the box. We've managed to block it, I think. Might still be a chance here. I mean, Lala, not the best in the air. I think it was Lala there. I'm going to assume it was. But I think he had it covered. 45 seconds left. I want the clean sheet, boys, at this point. Oh my gosh, the woodworker saved us. With the last strike of the game, Guingamp are going to hit the crossbar. I mean, the good news is we've survived here and there's no injuries. I feel like we have got pretty fortunate with injuries this year. I mean, we went through a spell, actually, to be fair, in January where they were pretty bad. But I do feel like our squad is pretty well suited to deal with an injury crisis if one kicks in. And additionally, perhaps the reason for the lack of injuries is just how we've been able to rotate the team and just make sure everyone's fit. I think that is a big contributing factor now I think about it. Anyway, a few more of our players out on loan you can see contributing here. Marin got a goal for Dijon in a draw. Marin hasn't developed as much as I was hoping he would when we signed him 2 years ago. Of course, he did break his ankle, quite early on into his time, and then he had a lot of injuries last season. I feel like he's the kind of player who probably needs another year out on loan. Maybe a slightly better team than Dijon, if there's a team that are better than Dijon that will play him more regularly. He kind of started a bit slow there, but he has become now a first-team regular. Anyway, we now have to think about the Porto game, and I'm thinking we play the direct attacking style of play, to be honest. I think it just makes the most sense going into this game. I think as well, given how Trincao played in the last game against Porto, Bertrand Traoré is the man to step up. But, I mean, as I said, the good news is we've not got a lot of injuries, so we're in a kind of position here where we can afford to rotate things quite a lot. The 3-3 result is a good one, but it is still very much anyone's game. And Porto, they're a team that do have some pretty good quality in their side. Anyway, we've got a few more scout reports here for players. I think they're the re-scouts, actually, of some of the players we were originally looking at. I can't get over Eder Militao, I'm going to be honest. For 21 million, I mean, that's a bargain. It's not quite at the same level of as Lenglet. I mean, who is better out of Lenglet and Wallace? Just if you were going to pick one. I think you'd say Wallace is just the better defender, whereas Lenglet is kind of the better versatile option. So if we now, I really want to just quickly compare Eder Militao to Lenglet. I already know how this is going to go, but I mean, if we just compare the two of them, I mean, he's just in a different league in a lot of areas. He's quicker. He's not quite as good in the air or quite as good with his mentals, but he's 22. I think 21 million's a bargain for him. And as we saw when we compared him to Ndombele, I think he could actually do a job as a centre mid for us. Definitely think that's a possibility in terms of what he could do for us. Anyway, things are looking pretty good here. You can see some of the little scouting updates here in terms of players training and how it's going. I still want Awar to get a little bit quicker if he can. Wallace, defensive positioning is apparently no longer a weakness. I want his marking to turn yellow. That'll be the benchmark when I'm satisfied it's not a weakness anymore. It's gone up from 15 to 15.2 in 2 years. So maybe we're going to be waiting a while, but I want to believe. Jean-Marc Vincent, I noticed here. He's developed very, very nicely. Only 16 years old, of course. We're training him to play centre mid as a roaming playmaker. He has improved, not a ton, but enough. Who is kind of the best under-19s player? We've got Maxi Cacaret, who is definitely not going to be able to play in the under-19s next year. So I don't know if I can actually make him not available for them, because I think he was in the reserve team and I made him available for the under-19s last year. But now he's out on loan. I can't change his status to remove him from this team, which is a little bit amusing. I think Auger is still the best of our kind of young prospects, although he hasn't improved that much. Feli he's done okay. Again, he's not improved, a ton. How's Mark Maynard doing? I mean, look at that. That's the kind of improvements I want to see. How about you, Laurie? Laurie Abul looks top-notch as well. Really, really like the look of him as a longer-term prospect. Still a little way off the first team, I think. But plenty of reasons to get excited. It's a little bit sad to see players like Gronley. I know he was a player who a lot of people were recommending. He just hasn't really developed, which is a bit of a shame. Anyway, PSG win there. I think they are pretty much at this point guaranteed to finish second. So, I mean, fair play to them. They can have the wooden spoon. No one should forget that we have finished so far ahead of them. Depay has been tipped to win the Star of the Competition award. I mean, that would be pretty good for him, although there's going to be quite a lot of competition, I imagine, for that. Kenny Lala in the Team of the Week. As I said, when we call upon Kenny, he just does the business. Not called upon him as much this year, but 4 appearances and 4 assists. Bolraff, did we get the second scout report on you? We did. I'm a little put off. I'm a little put off, and it's mostly because of the contract we've offered him. 750k is a bargain for a lot of regens, but for one who we're offering as much as we are for him, the scout report scares me. Of course, now I've finished, now the scout report comes in, the new one, and says that he's significantly better. I just think there's probably better value in the market out there. I mean, if we sort here by asking prices of players that we've scouted, the youngsters, then we can look at the ones down here at the bottom, the ones with the lower asking prices for maximum, who like have the highest scores. For example, there's this guy, Freshy, who plays for Spal. He's pretty good. What's the asking price looking at? 215 to 400,000. I wish his potential was a teeny tiny bit better. There's this guy, Greek centre-back. He looks pretty good. Again, he's inconsistent though. Maybe I overvalue consistency, but for me, I feel like it's just something that I'm always looking for. Any players that don't have a maximum asking price listed are players who just aren't going to be sold no matter what. So there's no point in daydreaming about the possibility of signing them too much. Anyway, you know what? We don't need to look at players. We need to look at the Porto game. That's what we should be worried about here. So, with this game on the horizon, I have already planned a little bit ahead when it comes to the team selection. Pretty much at full strength. I think the approach for today's game is... I feel like it's to just play direct attacking play from the start. I'm actually going to play Romero ahead of Tete. Tete's only averaged a 6.74 in his last 5 games, whereas Romero's in some really good form. The whole team just looks very, very solid though. Mendy in his last 5 hasn't been at his best. I mean, we might as well warn him now for his recent form. Might as well try and get, improve his his form a little bit. I think we already warned Toussaint not that long ago, but we can criticise him again. Hopefully, with our words ringing in his ears, he can turn up big. Is there anyone else I want to talk to? I don't think there is. So Wallace is back, which is good news for us. We didn't have him for the previous leg. I think that will help us from set pieces. He is our kind of big aerial presence in the defensive half. But no, to be honest, looking at this whole team, I'm happy with it. Let's submit it and get into this game. 3-3 after the first leg. Lyon versus Porto, Champions League semi-final. The fact we've got this far is an achievement. I feel like Porto is a relatively kind draw. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way if there's any Porto fans watching, but I mean, if you've played Football Manager, you know what it's like to go up against the likes of the Juventuses, the Barcelonas, the PSGs, the Manchester Uniteds, the Manchester Cities. They're not particularly nice. If we got a kit clash here, we have got a kit clash here, right? I'm really hoping that 2D view is going to be okay for us. That's better, isn't it? The red outlines and the black outlines. It's still not ideal as far as kit clashes go. I will apologise. It's a bit of a retro throwback, folks. We're going to the 2D. I do miss 2D a little bit. I've not used it at all this year in FM other than on kit clashes, which we had a few during the Lyon project. Anyway, 2 minutes gone. They've got a lot of men over. Where is our right back? Lucas, what were you doing? They've hit us on the break. I'm getting deja vu. They've scored within the first 5 minutes again. Where was Lucas Romero? Where was he? See, it's not the worst kit clash in the world, but I think the 2D probably is a better solution. I mean, Lucas, mate, I don't know what's happened for you to be that far out of position and then not be able to get back, but maybe just watch out a little bit. Maybe. Anyway, we've got a chance here. Fekir out wide to Mendy. Whips it in. Traore back post in off the crossbar. We will take that. Bertrand Traore wheels away in celebration, and quite rightly too. Was dropped for the first leg for Trincao, showing us perhaps what we were missing out on. Mendy throw into Fekir. Back to Mendy. On his weaker right foot. Is that? It is. I mean, in off the crossbar. Thunderous effort. Lovely, lovely goal. Might have another chance here as well. Fekir, edge of the box. Toussaint, have a go. Have a go. It's blocked. It's deflected. It's offside. Just stop celebrating, everyone. It's offside. We're going to VAR, but I think this is off. It's been disallowed. It was off. Was it close? I mean, it came off the defender. So should it have been offside? It's a deflected shot. The defender was the one who played it. It wasn't like it was deliberately played at Depay. But is he interfering? I mean, the offside rule is so unclear. Anyway, we need to defend here. Nice block. They look very keen to overlap with their wing-backs. And with us playing the more direct attacking style of play, wide inside forwards who are set to attack aren't tracking back so great. They've got a chance here. Boadu, shoot. It's blocked away. Lozano blocked. I'm really tempted to go to the 5-man midfield, which might seem stupid because it didn't work previously. But I feel like right now we are getting overloaded in the wide areas, and with that in mind, I want to just give us a trio of midfielders to hopefully deal with the situation. You know, really we're just dropping Fekir a little bit deeper. But I'm hoping that's going to kind of eliminate the channels that they're currently making things happen in. Anyway, we've got a chance here. Throwing goes forward to Danilo. Now with Toussaint, who should get there. I mean, he decides he doesn't want to run after the ball. Now with a Bubka, but Toussaint picks it up. Goes back to Lopez. Time to build from the back. Lopez, where are you going? Don't do anything too crazy here. I know it's the Champions League semi-final. I know it's a big, exciting time for you. But well, what can we do here? Memphis to Mendy. Get the ball in. Back with Memphis. Dribbles inside. Hits it. Oh my God. Depay. He scored in the first leg. He scored again here. And he's cut inside on his magic wand of a right foot. Mendy, who we talked to before the game, said, Mendy, you've not been good enough lately. He's listened. I mean, can he take much credit for this assist? I'll let you decide. Memphis Depay, though, drifts inside. Keeper doesn't even move. He is bamboozled. Porto need 2. We've changed the tactic, it's worked. This chart is absolutely awful to try and read, but just to try and make sense of it, they've had a clear-cut chance. They've had 2 half chances. They've only had 2 shots in total, but they've had the best opportunities. We are just taking half chance after... Well, not even half chances, just shot after shot, essentially. Memphis, bad post, hits the woodwork. Rebound, he can't get there. Oh, it was a chance to put the game... I don't want to say beyond doubt, but Porto, if we score again, they need 3. And that's going to be a tall order here. Ball with Lucas Romero. Whips it in. Gabels, was he fouled? Eder Militao might have just fouled him here. And if he has, it's going to be Fekir to take the penalty. Indeed, he did. Nabil, score for us here, son. Score for us. Show us what you can do. He sends the keeper the wrong way. It's 6-4 on aggregate. Porto actually only need 2 because of away goals. But it's 2 goals that they require just to take it to extra time. We've weathered an early storm. We've changed the tactical system. I'm going to claim it's worked wonders. We look much, much better since we've changed things up. 3-1 up at half-time. Interestingly enough, Atleti putting up a bit of a game against City. They are going to need at least 1 more goal. But they're looking good in their game, right. Second half here, 3-1 up. Told the players I'm pleased with the performance. I don't really want to get too shouty with them here. We've come back from behind to go 3-1 up. Don't want to knock their confidence. I want to keep them soaring high. An hour gone here. Has anyone really not turned up? Toussaint's not had the best game, but it's not out of the ordinary. Gabels has been a bit quiet today. So we'll bring in Moise Kean, I think. And I'm going to bring in Aouar as well for Ndombele, which might seem like an odd change considering that we've not taken off Toussaint despite the fact he's not playing as well. But I feel like Toussaint is a very good specialist defensive midfielder and Ndombele isn't quite as good defensively. Anyway, set piece. Falls to Traore, half cleared. Toussaint. Now with Wallace. Switch the play if you can. That is nice. Lenglet. Nice passing play by our 2 centre-backs here. Can we have an end product for Keir? Nice little run. Falls to Toussaint to mop up the pieces. Goes wide to Mendy. Now with Aouar here. Back wide with Mendy. He has been tearing them apart on the left-hand side. 2 assists already in this game for Mendy. He wants the hat-trick of them. Could he get it? He has the ball here. Options in the box. Well, a option in the box. It's Moise Kean. Aouar brings it forward, hits it. It's a little bit ambitious, but I can't knock the confidence that he's had to take the effort on there. I mean, Porto, since we've changed the system, have not had a shot on target. They have just been completely shut down by us crowding out the midfield. Let's make one last change here. I'm going to bring in Trincao for Bertrand Traoré. He is the player struggling the most with fitness. He's done a great job to get the goal, but fresh legs in the final third could be useful for trying to hit them on the break. And Trincao, oh my God, welcome to the team! On off the bench for Bertrand Traoré. Really brought him in for his pace. Not a bad goal to confirm that we will be in the Champions League final. Fekir whips it in, it's headed clear. Trincao, though, on the volley. I mean, I love that. He hasn't hit it even particularly hard. He's just watched it onto his foot. And he's hit it with that magic wand. It's 4-1 here. Eder Militao, shout out for giving us the penalty. What a performance that is. 7-4 on aggregate. I mean, there's entertainment value for us. I am very, very happy. To concede that early on is massive. And, well, the team we have in the final, it's Manchester City. It could have been an easier game for the Champions League final. It could have been. But, alas, it is not. Mendy, man of the match. I mean, I take it all back, the criticism now. It's all forgotten. You're the best player in the world, my friend. That Champions League game is going to be right at the end of the year. Probably won't do that next episode. That may come. I'm thinking that we might try and wrap up the domestic season next episode. But what I'd really like to do is beat Montpellier. And then the episode after next, we can do the French Cup final and the Champions League final. That would be pretty exciting and I think a good way to go about doing things. But my word, what a performance that was against Porto. I really can't knock our players at all. And, well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. We didn't make it particularly easy in that first leg, but in the second leg, I mean, it was just inspired. We completely shut them down. Mendy was massive for us. And, well, Depay also had a great game. And what about Trincao's goal? What about that? Not bad for a 20-year-old. I mean, if he doesn't play for the Portuguese national team in the next year, I'm going to be very surprised. And with performances like that against a Portuguese club, people should be taking notice. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up everything from me today. What an episode. What a performance. Hopefully I do see you guys again tomorrow. It's going to be massive. French Cup semi-final. I want the treble. We're on for it. We're within touching distance of it, kind of. And, well, hopefully I am going to see you guys for that next time. If you have enjoyed today's video, do leave a like on it. If you've got any comments about today's episode, about the signing of Eder Militao, I think 22 million is good business. I'll let you be the judge of that. But, well, regardless, hopefully I will see you guys soon. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. And, well, it is me, Jack. And I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.